Scene Mom says, welcome to the new podcast from former Phoenix radio host Danny Cutler. Each week bringing you independent music, industry news, the occasional interview, and other fun segments. Let's get to it. Scene Mom says hello and welcome to episode number 48. I have a special episode for you this week. I recently had an amazing chat with two friends and musicians, Chelsey and Daphne from Arizona band Fairy Bones. Not only was it great to catch up with them, I am super excited about the remastered special release of their second album, 0% Fun, which they are calling 0% Fun Worse. They are releasing it on Sunday, February 23rd, and it's 6 years exactly after the original release and the show, which I still have the poster up in my office. Yep, it made the cut and after the move, and as I was decorating, I knew I had to have it on my wall because I miss them very much. For you newbies who are not in Arizona, you will learn about the band's beginnings and many restructurings of the band. And then we will talk about the album, the reasons why for re-releasing, and also dive into a little marketing and promo chat. I will also sprinkle some songs from the album throughout, and you will also hear a tune from Daphne's band, Daphne and the Glitches, and you're going to hear this show's theme song in its entirety. It's such a great track. I had a blast chatting with them, and I hope you have a blast listening. So I will jump right into the interview after this first song from Fairy Bones, Pink Plastic Cups. So enjoy, and you're listening to what Scene Mom says.
Fill me up with your pink plastic cups. Your story's about the time when you thought of giving up. Between this fine line of sober and drunk, is there anything left to fill me up? They're turning now, can you hear them howl? They've been at work for far too long. She shakes her head, but she'll wind up in his bed. Is there anything left to fill me up? You're cute, but damn, are you dumb? This body's ruining my fun. Sleep sweet, but I'm too bitter. Let's leave before I hit her. Right here, left turn. Find a parking lot and let's burn, burn, burn. Pink plastic cups. Your head above me and a
the Scene Mom Says podcast and my first interview of 2025. I'm very excited because both of these lovely people, I have known them. I looked it up on Facebook because that's how I can measure how long I've known people is when I friended them on Facebook. So 10 years, Chelsey, going on 11, and 9 years with Miss Daphne Green.
Wow.
Insane. So these are the two main peeps in the band Fairy Bones. And welcome.
Yo.
It is us. Hello. Good.
It is.
Good morning.
On a personal note, so happy to see your faces. It's been too long.
Feelings mutual.
Yes.
My goodness. I just need to either teleportation or I need to become somewhat independently wealthy so that I can give it to charity and fly to Phoenix more.
That would be very good. Yeah. If we could all win the lottery, I think we could plan to do that.
Yeah. And then I would bring all the bands out here for shows.
Nice.
Good.
See?
Yeah.
So
okay. That's the plan. I love when people plan to win the lottery because it makes sense and it's going to happen.
Well, I'm only going to use my power for good, not evil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of evil?
Well, maybe a little. So I needed to give everyone a little background on Fairy Bones. There has been several iterations of the band Fairy Bones, but Chelsey has always been right there, first and foremost at the front.
Unfortunately.
She's so proud of this.
Yeah. It is my life's work. It is my life's work.
It definitely is your life's work. I've probably known you like, almost half your life.
I know, it's crazy.
Insane. Fairy Bones back in 2018 released an amazing album called 0% Fun. And so happy to have been a part of that with KWSS. We did a lot of the releases on the air, had you over many times to promote things and talk and had always great times. I know. And this is almost as good on Zoom, but it's not.
It's almost, yeah. It's close.
Yeah.
I like it.
Definitely. I talk better when I can see people rather than if we were just on the phone,
Oh, yeah. Never call me. I won't pick up.
I will just FaceTime you. Yeah.
Perfect, yeah.
Give us, Chelsey, just a brief background of Fairy Bones and the band and why you, way back when, put it together.
Oh, no. Okay.
In 100 words or less. No.
Jesus. Okay, let me pull up the Wikipedia page. Fairy Bones is an American alternative rock band from Phoenix, Arizona. No, okay. So Fairy Bones started, what do we always say? That we started the day the world was supposed to end. That was like wasn't it like
12?
Yeah, New Year's Eve 2012.
I think so.
Or like the world was supposed to end due to the Mayan calendar.
It wasn't Y2K. It wasn't 2000, was it?
No, what? No. I was like a teen. I was like, I can't do math. But so we started that day because I went over to a party that Matt and Ben, who are they're brothers and they're our bassist and our drummer, were trying to start another band. And they were playing like a New Year's Eve party. I saw them play and I was like, that's good. Stop that. You're going to be in my band. It's called Fairy Bones. This is genuinely how that happened. I was like, now you're part of this band. They were like, okay, great. Okay, so I met them from like Craigslist, literally, which is also crazy. And we're still together, this long ago, or this far on. And so Robert was our guitarist for that whole time until 2020. And now he's in another Phoenix band that's great. It's called Paper Foxes. And he's playing bass in that band now, which is like, he thrives on bass. He's a great guitarist, but he wanted to just go do his own, his own thing. He was like moving away, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of thought maybe we were ending in 2020. We weren't sure. But Daphne, who was living in LA like most of the time, we know her. I had met her from a band that she was in for how long, Daphne? Statues?
4.5 years.
4.5 years. Well, Statues of Cats. So like
that's how I met her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Fairy Bones and Statues of Cats, we would play together in California, in Phoenix, and like kind of trade shows like that as you do. So she moved to Arizona and I was like, I want that in my band. So I don't even remember how I asked you, Daphne, but
I think you just texted me. I'm pretty sure you were just like, hey, What would you think about being in Fairy Bones? Being
If
a
you
lead guitar
want
player in Fairy
something,
Bones.
just ask. Just ask or tell them. And
The
then
text is just, we're having rehearsal on Thursday night, be there.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah. If you just, this is me manifesting stuff. I'm just like, it is already happening. So if you're not at rehearsal, I'm gonna find you a nickel or whatever.
Which is interesting because Daphne was already doing Daphne and the Glitches before joining Fairy Bones.
Mm-hmm.
It was very new though.
Yeah.
Right, Daphne and the Glitches. That's her new project once Statues of Cats sort of broke up. Daphne.
Yeah, so I tried to keep, I mean, technically Statues of Cats kind of limped along for a couple years after the sort of initial group left. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to try to keep doing that and find new people or start something else. So I eventually was like, no, I want to do something new, make it kind of my quote unquote solo project, but I still like having a band. So I was like, yeah, Daphne and the Glitches. That'll work. That'll be
With
fine.
like 15 people.
Yeah, well, the thing
not anymore though.
it was a trial and error process of like, you know, different members, how many members, who's playing what. And
There were like 100 members though.
There
yeah,
really were.
I think we had 7 or 8 at our peak of member excess.
As a manager, that makes me want to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very difficult to wrangle everybody, but you know, made for some
Have a
fun
new band
shows.
called Wrangling Cats. Boom.
Oh!
I always say I'm wrangling misfits. So she has she still is in Daphne and the Glitches. So she still fronts her band. And Fairy Bones and Daphne and the Glitches, I'm not saying they're like wildly different music, but they definitely are their very, very own unique type of music. Like for me, and you can describe it how you want Daphne as well, but for me, I think Daphne and the Glitches music is like much more like blues rock and like more like guitar forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Than Fairy Bones, which is much more like pop oriented, I'd say. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. You know, you can take the girl out of blues, but you can't take the blues out of the girl.
Oh, she can play some effing blues. Oh, you can play some fucking blues, man.
Goddamn right.
For sure. Yeah, you definitely hear the contrasts. And when this show airs, I will definitely play both so that people definitely know the difference. But I played both of you on the show anyway. Gosh, Chelsey, you're my opening song.
Oh,
Look Good for the radio. I still use the music. Yeah. Because
so can I say something?
You want to do that story? Go.
Literally, probably a few days before I found out that you were using that song, I had told Chelsey, like, why aren't we playing this song? This song's great. We should definitely work it into the set. And then she responded with, well, Danny just started using it as the opening to her show.
It's perfect. And the lyrics are great. I know it's like artist POV, but it works and I love it. And it's a great, and it has that for a theme. It's has
a good theme. Yeah, I think so. It's a great, it was funny. We never played that song. Not like, I don't think we never ever played it live. We played it live like once, but that was more of like we wrote that in the studio with Bob.
Was it because I asked you to? It probably was because I asked you to.
It was because you were using it. And then Daphne also was like, are you crazy? Why aren't we playing the song live? It was like a weird, like, and then we were rehearsing it. We were rehearsing that song in our rehearsal space. And remember those people came by and were like, I know this song.
Yeah.
Our next door neighbors in the rehearsal place were like, wait, is that your song? And we were like, yes. So that was cool.
Yeah, I used it on KWSS too, like right after 0% Fun, the original, the OG. Yeah, the OG. Right after it came out, because I mean, I listened to the whole album and that one just was like, I need to use it. And I use it as my bed music under me talking for a long time. And
that's amazing.
But it's,
I think I have an instrumental if you need it, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, we'll have to talk. Yeah, because I'll take all the instrumentals because I use them still.
Oh, but instrumental thing. Yeah, I got you.
That's a whole new thing to just put out the instrumentals. There you go.
Well, people are doing that anyway.
Am I getting ahead of you on that?
Yeah, you are.
Air Ghost just did it with Jiminy.
I know. Yeah. How about shh?
Fairy Bones. We're going to come back to about the lineup changes because I do have some questions about that, but let's talk about 0% Fun. So now you've got, that came out in 2018.
Yes.
It wasn't your first album, but wasn't it your first was it your first full length or no?
It's our second full length, but it's like, so it's I call it our sophomore slump, but because it's our best album. But we are going to release a third album here. Hopefully we're thinking 2026. But we'll be releasing new music, like brand new music recorded and stuff like that in 2025. But so we're re-releasing 0% Fun with the, you know how they go like, whatever the Beatles do, and then they go remastered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so my idea was, okay, we'll do 0% Fun worse. And it's a re-release. And we added Bullshit You're a Nice Guy, which is a single we released after 0% Fun, but felt like it was a part of the narrative. Like, so it felt already like it was part of that world. And then, so that's added on there, plus some demos and remixes and a song that was like kind of supposed to be on 0% Fun called Future Kind. That sort of never made its way there. But it is a demo recorded at Bob Hope's studio where we record everything, but it's not like mixed basically, but it is mastered. Everything's like remastered by Jason Livermore from Blasting Room.
So what made you want to re-release this 6 years later? Just because you had things lying around that you wanted to add? What motivated you to want to re-release?
So a little bit of my motivation was honestly Sydney Sprague.
I do that too.
Yeah, it's fun. Just it's something every other day. But I learned a lot from. I'm also a music manager and marketing person under the name 0%. Poor Life Choice. It's all very sad, isn't it? So I was managing her when she got signed to Rude Records, and I learned a lot from like, working with a label, like a real label and everything like that. And so I just keep my eye, try to keep my, finger on the pulse.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that is she re-released her album with a similar thing with like demos and stuff like that. And I thought that was a great idea. And I have had these lying around, like quote unquote lying around. They've been in SoundCloud and stuff like that. The Matt, our drummer, created the remix of 8 Ball, which I think is so fun. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to that yet. The remix is very, very funny, and I like it a lot. And so I've had these around, and I wanted to sort of like give our band a boost because we've had a great career. I've had a great career. Like it's awesome, but it definitely like there's what do you call them? Like hills and valleys.
Sure.
Like I just feel like we were in a valley. Literally, we're in the valley. Okay, sorry. In Arizona. Hey. So we were kind of in a valley, in 2024, just trying to like get it together. Like we have Daphne in the band now, like very solidly. We have Matt back as the drummer because he was gone so we're a solid lineup again, creating new music. And I wanted to sort of like launch us into 2025 with like something to give and something new. Yeah, some new stuff, and kind of just like promote that we're like, we're working on new stuff. We're back, and I have some fun stuff that I've had in the, I don't know, the closet or whatever.
Yeah. Is there anything new that this new iteration of Fairy Bones, like with Daphne, is there anything on the album that you've worked on, or is it all just remastered from the old?
So we have released one song with Daphne, recorded, very well recorded with Bob and everything, and released, and it's called "I Wish I Wasn't This Way." So she's on that. She's singing and she's playing guitar. On 0% Fun, I don't think you're on any of the tracks. No, because that was not the era she was around.
Right,
so these are really these are tracks that were sitting, I have them and I've listened, and I thought other people might like to listen to them as well, but they're from the era right before Daphne, sort of. So
yeah.
But there will be new music this year with Daphne, which is very exciting.
I did make it into that bullshit music video.
Oh,
That's true.
It's my one connection to the.
How crazy is that? That's so funny.
The video is fantastic. The song is fantastic. I still remember on KWSS because, of course, FM radio. So that is not a song you can edit.
It's certainly not.
It's pretty integral.
So I edited like a minute and a half of it and then just cut it off and was like, I can't do this. And it was actually pretty good radio for the time.
Yeah, no, it's tough. For context, we're talking about the song "Bullshit, You're a Nice Guy," and the chorus is literally "Bullshit, You're a Nice Guy." So it's
exactly
hard to censor.
Yeah,
in a way that's still musically fun.
Just one long beep for 2.5 minutes.
And
you know,
so is "Hang with the Boys."
Yes, that's one too. Yes,
like beep off. I'm tired of the beep beep.
We'll just say there were some songs I could not. I just was like, nope, we just are not playing this on the radio because
I said earlier I didn't realize I swore so much, but it's a whoopsie poopsie.
No, boy, don't start with me. I got no time for your energy. I don't owe you shit, so you better quit, or I'll cut you down real fucking quick. So go ahead and try your best. $10 says you're like the rest. 'Cause I'll say no, then you'll explode and call me every dirty word plus a few I don't know. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. No, nah, no. Oh great, here comes the pic of your gross and veiny tiny dick. I don't know why you think my eyes wanna see that shit. Can you take a hint? Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. It's not okay. I'm not a game for you to play. So take offense, 'cause I will never let it be your friend again. So run away, little man. Y'all need to stop texting me. Y'all so get off the boys forever. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Please look at my fucking face. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No. Bullshit, you're a nice guy. Has anyone ever bought that line? No.
coming out exactly 6 years after you released it.
February 23rd, 2025. It's coming out 6 years to the date. It was released February 23rd, 2018.
So fun.
So I thought that would be kind of fun. I don't know. And also, the cover image is the alternate. It was like the second choice of the main art that we used.
Oh.
And it's by a fantastic photographer. Her name's Natasha, and you can check it out on our Instagram. She's a great photographer. So she took that photo of us with like the blood in my mouth or whatever, and this was like the second option. So I figured we would release like kind of like the alternate version of the art too. So that's kind of fun.
That is so much fun. I mean, if you're a collector and you know Fairy Bones, or you're just like indie shit, you definitely want to listen to this.
It's been kind of nice because, I've gotten to play with Ben since I've been in Fairy Bones. And then when Matt came back, it was kind of nice because I felt like I was getting like double dip rehearsals with him in terms of like finding that chemistry with both Glitches and Bones.
That's great.
And it like really, I think it made us gel a lot quicker having that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the best way to get to know somebody is just spend a lot of time with them playing and definitely learn their style and how you can use it in both bands. So I think that's great. But with all the changes over the years, Chelsey, how were you worried that you wouldn't be able to stay true to Fairy Bones sound? I mean, I know like just after 2020, you dropped off for a while. Fairy Bones was done. It was a big deal.
I announced that whole thing. There was
you did
about it in the press. Whoopsie.
So, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like you figured it was done. Was it because, you know, you just weren't sure you could stay true to what you wanted Fairy Bones to be?
I think so. I think like I literally think you hit it on the nose right there. Like I think it was because everyone was like, you know, I mean 2020 sucked for literally every person on the planet.
Oh
like,
yeah.
For live music, it was very bad. As you know, it's there was no live music. And I think we just all like freaked out, you know. Daphne wasn't really involved at that time. So Robert, we were just like everybody sort of fell apart in 2020.
It just sucked.
Oh yeah.
And we did too. And
Mhm.
so the band just fell apart. You know, Matt left, Robert left. It was like just Ben and I. So I just felt like, you know, maybe we could go out and like what does Kurt Cobain say? Like it was like it's better to whatever than fade away.
Burn out.
Yeah, it's better to burn out than fade out. Like,
is that Def Leppard? I thought it was Def Leppard.
Oh, it's not? Is it? Oh no, did I just can you cut this out?
I feel like it's Def Leppard. You guys are Googling it very quickly. I love it.
So
I mean, there's also a song by Crazy Horse and Neil Young, apparently.
Oh,
I think it's just a quote.
Yeah, it probably is. Like everyone is claiming that quote as theirs.
I know.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Maybe cut this part out. I don't know. Okay. Anyway,
No. We're not cutting anything out.
Kurt Cobain said it's better to fade or to burn out than fade away. And that's kind of the vibe I was thinking, that like, you know, it's hard to just like be in the public eye and sort of like wither. So it was like, it would be better for us to just like take the L and just like quit on a high note. But I was mad. Like I didn't want to quit. I just thought that Matt, the drummer, is a big part of. He wrote half of 0% Fun. I wrote another half of 0% Fun. We also write a bunch of it together, and so it's like half of it is his voice, and he wasn't there. And I just didn't know if I had it in me to like do this again, like start over, essentially.
Mhm.
And then as 2020 came and went, and we kind of got better as a society or whatever. Like, well, maybe not now, but
That's part 2 of the podcast. No.
Yes. I don't know, it just like naturally kind of like I stopped trying to make it happen and I let it happen. In what way, like, is it going to come back or is it not going to come back? And if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And I have to be okay with either one of those. And it did. And I'm fucking stoked, of course. But it came back in the way that like it needed to come back. Like Matt's back, so he's a big part of songwriting. Daphne really lends like a whole new edge to the like like her talent on the guitar is freaking amazing. She can also sing backing vocals, which is like something I've always wanted but really never had, especially a female vocalist.
Yeah, it's always just been you.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to like have somebody, you know, doing like, or even singing some of the parts, you know, not even just backing vocal, like singing with me. I love that.
Whoa,
Yeah.
harmonizing in Fairy Bones? Whoa.
Oh, there's a lot of harmonizing in Fairy Bones now. That's crazy. Like, see, like
Love
live,
it.
we even do this now. Oh, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. She like brings so much. So I think the energy was just back with the right people. Like I was just open to I was open to whatever I had to do to not like, I don't know, tarnish the Fairy Bones name in the best way I can. You know what I mean? It is my life's work. I know it kind of sounds silly, but that is like, this is my life. And so
Right.
I didn't want it to end, but I also didn't want it to chug along and be embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I did announce that it was done, but then like these people brought life back into Fairy Bones. Like they brought it back, you know.
I have a secret for you. You're not the first artist to be done and come back and to announce it and I'm just saying.
Not?
Yeah, get over yourself. Yeah.
No.
You're not. I'm totally going to put this video out there. This is great.
What?
Daphne, how is it for you being part of the band? I mean, you know, when you were first asked to join, you did it. So something obviously drew you to it. So what is it about Fairy Bones that you love so much?
So it was so funny because I think there was a combination of things that all kind of aligned into that moment when Chelsea texted me, where I think I was feeling confident enough in my own project and my own like musicianship where I'm just like, you know what? I could see myself like playing in other bands. I think that that could be fun to have other projects where I'm not the driving force. I get to just like play guitar or sing or whatever. So I was already kind of in that headspace. And Fairy Bones, because I knew them for so long and kind of knew so much about them, I definitely kind of like there were songs that I liked enough to learn and was on stage with them when we would tour together.
Hmm.
Like I enjoyed their music, and I think I always kind of selfishly was like, man, I really wish I could get my guitar on their stuff. And so
She
it
picked
just
up on that. Chelsea picked up on it.
Yeah.
kind
I
of
think
worked
yeah,
out.
we vibed hella.
Yeah, we've always had a good chemistry just as friends and, like hung out outside of music and everything. So it just felt like a good opportunity. It was definitely very interesting the first few rehearsals and shows I played with the band because I felt a huge amount of pressure and anxiety about being good enough to be in the project. And
Aww.
like I was like, oh no, I hope I'm, doing well enough to
Please.
to earn my spot.
Aw,
And
that's so sweet though.
and like I think it was like after we had enough shows where the songs started becoming more like rote, and I wasn't stressing about like, oh, what comes next? Is the chorus here, or what those little
You had a
things.
big job to be fair. Like you weren't just playing guitar, you were also like learning the lyrics and like doing
Right.
lyrics that you didn't write because they're older songs, and that I always think that's harder when it's like you didn't write it, so you don't have like it's not as easy to remember. You're doing harmonies. We've never done harmonies before. You're making them up. You're not learning
Yeah.
them.
Right.
She had a big job. And I
Yeah.
think one of the one of the first shows we did was like Marquee L7.
Yeah, that was pretty early
That's
on.
right.
It
Oh
was
Yeah.
like
my
way
gosh.
too much, too fast, or something. I don't know. But if you
That's just a testament, I think, to your professionalism, though, Daphne. I mean, if someone's just going to saunter in and just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm playing guitar, or whatever. I mean, versus you were seriously worried about this stuff, even though you're already good friends with everybody in the band. I mean, you're a pro. Yeah.
It definitely, I think, bolstered my confidence as a session player to be like, okay, yeah, I can
Yeah.
do this. I can learn an entire set and, play with another band. And
Yeah.
definitely made me more confident.
You're born with all the power, like a warlord. You want more, and when
let's talk business.
Good. Yes, I am a professional business person.
Me too. Oh,
You're doing so well.
So you are the owner of A Poor Life Choice Marketing and Management. How many artists do you have on your roster now?
Such a great question.
You're like, I don't know.
Aha.
Okay, so
I should have
let's
sent you
just
the questions in advance. You know,
I mean, wow. Okay, so we have Fairy Bones. I manage my own
the
band.
easy one.
Daphne and the Glitches. We have Marloma. We have Dan E.T. or Danny Torgerson, as you know. We have Taylor Saxon. We have Tin Angel. And we have Bittersweet Hearts. I think I did everybody. So 7.
Right. Wow. Very
Yeah.
nice.
But 2 of them are like Daphne and the Glitches and Fairy Bones. So
You're like, I can do those.
well, I mean, they're like, bands that we like live in, so or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's my roster right now. They're some of them are Phoenix based, like 80% of them are Phoenix based, like 20% of them are
That makes sense. I mean,
LA.
you're in Phoenix.
Yeah. Yes, it's easier it's easier to talk to people in Phoenix when you're in Phoenix. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
How do you enjoy managing other artists?
Oh, I love it. I mean, like the thing is, like I think that the reason Fairy Bones at all was initially successful was because I like am obsessed with the music industry. Like I
Mhm.
really love the music industry. I like doing the back end stuff. Like I know that like a lot of artists, and this is totally valid, don't like to do social media, don't like to create content, don't like all of the like quote unquote boring stuff
Yeah.
maybe. Putting up and even making your own posters and like booking your own shows, booking your own mini tour, like stuff like that. It's like I always liked doing that for Fairy Bones. So when 2020 happened, it was like I had obviously more time and the band, as we just talked about, sort of dissipated. So I had a
Mhm.
lot of time. And when I started working with Sydney, who was like the first artist I really took on, she got like signed pretty immediately. So it was very good. It was a very good feeling. And I felt like I was like doing the thing that I was supposed to be.
You
Like,
contributed to that. Yeah.
oh yeah. And it felt really good and it was fun and I learned so much. It's like I really love learning about the music industry. I love just finding out things that like, you might not get to know if unless you're like you have that access to a label, which I
Mhm.
hadn't until then and that was so cool. So once I kind of learned a little like more and more and more, I was just getting all the
Yeah.
information I could from the label, from the process, from the experience. And so other people hit me up and they were like, I see what you're doing with Sydney. Like, do you take on other acts? And I was wanting to be very specific about what acts I took on because like I don't want to be that person who if you hit me up and you're like, you give me money and I fuck you over. Like that's
Yeah.
not my job. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm
Right.
also a musician, so like I get both sides of it, which I think is kind of unique to my situation or my company. And I think it's really, really worked out because I can kind of, it's also fun to talk to all these musicians and like
Yeah.
find out their experiences. And it's, while doing all of the other work and like also teaching them to do like liking social media. Like some of them don't like it, some of them love it, but it's a necessary part of our,
Well, and I think artists, as much as they don't like it and do it and like to do it, you can show them a way where they don't have to do all of it. So that's like what you're there
well,
for, but
even
they
like
still have to be there for some of it.
Well, I really think it's about catering the content you're doing to something that you love. Like you
Yeah.
love your music, right? Okay, so how are we going to promote that? Because in a world of social media, in a world
Right.
of video, in a world of images, in a world of audio, like you know what I mean? Like like the first step is you create a song, and then there's like 20 steps in between to the person getting to Spotify and listening to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
and that process there, I find that very like I like gamify it in my head, I think a bit, where it's like I want to win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Win the process. So like that's kind of how I view it. But like, you don't have to do I think even this is still like a thing that people think that TikTok is just stupid dances,
Yeah.
which
And
is
it's so not.
I mean, that's crazy to think that. It's like thinking Facebook is irrelevant. It's not, sorry.
Right.
Like, that's wrong.
Oh, I tell people that all the time and they're like, really?
They
I'm like,
don't even have a Facebook. And I'm like, then how do you do anything? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe you don't want to use it. That's what I'm saying. But it is a necessity. But you can make it fun for you depending on what you want. You can do album reviews. You don't have to do stupid TikTok dances. You can do anything. You can literally do any content. We just have to figure out what it is. That's like for you and not like draining
And the bottom line
and
is, if you're enjoying what you're doing, that's what people are going to see and connect with more than the stupid TikTok dance. If you don't if you do like it, great, that'll come across. But if you don't like it and you do it anyway, no one's going to give a shit.
Exactly. And we do very similar jobs in that aspect. So it's like, it's frustrating when somebody thinks they hate social media, and I'm like, I think you're not using it.
You're using it wrong.
You're using it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The algorithm doesn't even know you, girl.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Yes. So on the subject of Meta and TikTok and all of that, there's a lot of crazy going on right now. I mean, and especially specifically with social media, Meta is cracking down or not cracking down. They're allowing unchecked content. And people don't want to be a part of it anymore. TikTok, the whiplash of TikTok, as I call it, because it literally was down and then like 6 hours later, it was back. A lot of people are worried about it. A lot of artists, I should say, anyone who creates any content or has a business that uses these things, they're worried about it because not only they don't know what the future holds, but they're also worried about the people who are leaving these places. And it's like, well, that's their audience, right? And it's already hard enough with algorithms and just the oversaturation of it to be seen, right? So what advice would you give artists who they're trying to navigate all of this stuff and they're feeling defeated and they're feeling like they're just paddling water and just treading and trying to stay above water? How can they navigate through all of these changes and still promote their music and still be seen?
That's a good
question.
It's
a lot. I know.
No, it's a good question. I was thinking about it. So I think that my main advice would don't put all your eggs in one basket. Any vertical video, you shouldn't make it on TikTok. You should make it to be posted on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. Like you can repurpose this content across like a bunch of different platforms. So you're not like exhausted at the end of the day, like making like, you there's some stuff that maybe won't work on every single platform, and that's totally fine. I think what you should do is make a plan for yourself to post every day or post every other day. Something. If it doesn't, this is what I always tell people. If it doesn't like hit, if it doesn't get like the traction that you want or expect, there's a delete button. Like, nobody needs to know that you quote unquote failed. I have a lot of artists going like, well, I don't want to post this. What if it flops? Like, just delete it. Nobody's going to remember. Do you know how much is going on right now? Or going on in everybody's lives? Nobody's going to fucking remember if your post flopped. You are, because you fucking made it. But like, in general, you're not posting because you're scared. If you're not posting, nothing's going to happen. And if you're not posting, you're not going to know what hits and what doesn't hit. And it's fine for stuff not to hit. Throw everything against the wall. Keep trying. If something like pops off, do it again. You know what I mean? That's what's working. And don't be like literally being afraid of flopping online. I find very silly. Like, I know there's like a digital footprint that we talk about. Like, you don't want to post you like doing drugs online or anything like that. Like, don't do that. Don't do anything that you're going to lose your job. But like, doing a video that flops is really like, it's not the end of the world. That's crazy. You can't, and also like make sure you're posting on all platforms, I think is another one. Because I think sometimes people are like, well, I'm never, I'm not downloading TikTok or like whatever. It's like, well, now you can't, I guess. But right?
No new members. Membership is closed.
But like some people, they forget about like YouTube a lot of the time. Do you know how long YouTube's been around? Like it's a pretty fucking solid social media network if I'm being real. And also, I think I would say be more conscious of like getting email addresses, for a mailing list. I think that people, especially young musicians, are like, nah, email addresses. It's like, it's the thing that you don't change your email address. Like, that's the thing that you're going to have their contact forever. So like, prioritize these things that like maybe you think are lame. Try them. Try stuff.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, you stop doing it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all I had to say.
Yeah. Daphne, from an artist point of view, how does social media make you feel like right now having to do things for your band?
Man.
I know it's another loaded question. They're all loaded questions.
Well, particularly loaded for Daphne, I'd say. Yeah.
I've talked with Chelsey about this for a long while because I've not been creating as much content for a little while. I think I got burned out, and it's felt really hard to get back on the horse. And like finding that like joy, or that like how do I spin this to feel good about the work I'm doing? Because I am guilty. I am one of those artists that's kind of felt recently like, man, I wish I could just play music and not be this content creator. But unfortunately, that is the reality that we're living in. And then tack on top of that the just the climate we are in.
You can say it. It's okay. This is a safe space.
All of these tech moguls are affiliated with Donald Trump. And frankly, as someone who feels directly targeted by this man, like even like it felt dirty logging into Spotify as of a few days ago. Like it's weird. There are these extra levels of like sort of like, how do I responsibly use these platforms in a way that's going to positively
when you hate the people behind them right now?
Correct.
Correct. Because you feel like a hypocrite. You feel, but literally a necessary evil.
Right. And so there's this phrase that my old guitar player in Statues of Cats imparted to me and has stuck with me for a long time. And I think that I'm like kind of at this point where I'm just like, well, this is what I have to do. You got to fuck the demon. You have to fuck the demon in order.
So
I know.
We
just figured out the title of this episode.
Yeah, fuck the demon.
The demon.
My God. Fuck the demon works.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great phrase.
I love that, and it makes sense too.
Yeah,
because it's like that demon doesn't care about you, but while you are in the situation you're in, you need to get everything you can out of it to get yourself into a position where maybe you don't even need that demon anymore, or maybe, you're less beholden to them.
0% Fun Worse is out on February 23rd, and you're going to have it everywhere. Are you going to have it available for purchase in any form? TBD?
Get back to you.
Yeah, TBD.
TBD?
Yeah.
And I suppose that's probably the same with maybe a show?
That is also, that's going to happen, but TBD.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll let you know.
Well, make it far enough in advance so I can save my pennies and fly out.
Yeah.
We'll do a live stream or something just for you.
Oh, that'd be great. Or just do it in Massachusetts. Make everybody go to Massachusetts.
Okay, that makes way more
Love
sense.
it.
It does. Totally.
Yeah. But you can always find us. We're at Fairybones Music on Instagram and everywhere else except for TikTok. We're at Fairybones Sucks.
And hopefully in a couple months, TikTok will still be around. Who knows?
Oh, I love
Who
TikTok.
knows?
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us.
Who knows? And Daphne, how can people get in touch with your bands? Plural.
Yeah, you can find Daphne and the Glitches at DAT Glitches, DAT Glitches. I have to think about it sometimes. Google us, search us at all the places.
Yeah, Google us.
Google us.
Go online. I say
Bing
Google.
us.
Google it.
Bing
Yeah,
us.
Bing it. Yeah. We're good at we do the social, we do the SEO. So just Google.
Yeah.
Daphne plus the Glitches and Fairy Bones. There. Thank you.
Goodness, all over the place. And you're also on Ghost Moon too. I love
Ghost
the
Moon
music.
with an E at the end of moon.
And 2 O's. So MOONE.
Yeah, Ghost Moon with an E.
Beautiful. I have enjoyed this conversation so much, and I love you both very much.
I love
Woo.
you. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Yeah.
With us.
No,
This is so
thank
fun.
you guys. And everybody listening, all 12 of my listeners, please go
Yeah,
and
my 12 listeners. What's up, girls?
We love you.
I like to keep things intimate.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. No, it's an exclusive podcast. This is just
Exactly.
If there's one more fucking person listening to this, I'm gonna find you.
I'm going to force you to
She
listen
means it.
to all our music.
No, I don't want number 13 to exist. If they exist, I'll fucking find you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I love
Thanks
you.
for having
Thank you.
us.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast. Intro, outro music is Look Good for the Radio by Fairy Bones. Learn more about Danny and the show at dannycutler.com.